What is up, beautiful souls? So today I felt a call to do a reading this morning. And as I would have it, I chose life and to go out and do my humanly things. And as spirit would have it, here I am. And I'm not complaining. Everything is divinely orchestrated in time. And I say that because it is interesting because of the energies I incorporate, that I feel through these readings, and how they are relevant to what's happening. And as frustrating and at times infuriating, if you will, through this reading, being able to take a step back, it's really telltale. There's a lot of conflicting energy. And when I say conflicting, it's actually two different points of view, which actually makes sense, because when we see things through Spirit's point of view, everything is always fine. Everything's beautiful. Everything's playing out just exactly as anticipated. Versus when we are in this dynamic, we can get caught up in the human role, right? And lose focus. So we'll get into this reading. I just want to say, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. If this reading resonates with you, please like, share, comment. And if you are new, please do consider subscribing if you want. I love the community we're growing here. I love my brother and sis. And I know that we are all kind of on a roller coaster of energies coming through, and so I can only read for what comes up. That all being said, what we can expect, I'm going to do the download. We laid some tarot cards, and then we'll finish off with the oracle card. But to begin with, this reading, and I say I should have come in this morning. I felt it. Like I needed to do the reading this morning. I chose not to, but I went to go leave a post on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you're not on there, please feel free to go to my main page on my YouTube. You'll find my handles there. I'd love for you to come on over and like if you feel so pulled. But the quote I left, and that's where this is starting me off was, and I didn't realize it was a download in the beginning stages. But the quote was, "The difference between ice and water is 1 degree. What if you were one step away from the life you want? Don't give up on it." And the caption I wrote was, "Could it be as simple as living a day consciously rather than on autopilot? Simple does not equate to easy, but simple nonetheless." And then before I could finish that auto caption, this is where they rev me off and the download begins. "Some will snide at this concept, like the frustration you gain from watching someone mindlessly going about their business without thinking before they do. Like a kid doing what is in their best interest without the contemplation of who is all involved. Or the bigger kid who cuts you off in traffic. Interesting as a bystander, isn't it? But you are no less immune. And we would like to remind you, if living consciously was so easy, the programming of minds would have little effect. Yet many of our brothers and sisters walk in a mesmerized state of hypnotism. Don't remember that. I'm trying to write that. By the overly evolved state of propaganda that overwhelms the senses. I'm losing light. Bear with me, guys. We bring this to your forethought to remind you that you too lose focus from time to time. What if we told you it is in those micro moments that have the capacity to shift your whole reality. They took me to a download. I keep on my phone, like my little intuitive downloads. And they took me to this and I was able to find it. A micro shift can change everything. Day by day, nothing may seem to change. Yet in a year's time, everything can be so different. Sometimes it only takes a micro shift in a moment to change the perspective of our current reality. They bring me back. Today, tonight, in the morning, and every given changing moment, we ask you to come back to this reality. A post-it note, that's what they showed me, can do wonders if you like, on the car dashboard, on your mirror, and on the desk to remind you. A moment of consciousness, deliberate choice. Choice. Yes, choice. That is the beautiful gift to be played out by a deliberate choice. Choice of pause, choice of reflection, choice of decision, to respond or to react. To choose the reality of your world, which first begins within, to ripple to every aspect of the world, which is your playing stage. And you are the main actor or actress. Have you asked yourself lately, who am I? Why did I come? How am I contributing? Am I showing up in integrity to all that which I know my spirit can uphold? These questions and alike should not leave you feeling shame or guilt, but rather opportunities to fine-tune your awareness to your frequency and bring you back to alignment. Keep your eye focused on the goals. Goals. You are so supported. Don't forget that. Align and keep the vibration. And then they took me back to the last part of that caption, and I was allowed to write it. How willing are you to stay active in such vibration? I'm going to pause for 1 second. Go turn on the light. Okay, sorry. So, as I went to go start shuffling and laying the tarot cards, well, let's just begin. Our underlying energy. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me. Our underlying energy comes with the 7 of Cups, but this is the before tarot. And unless something in the card calls to my attention, I'll read it just as the tarot. But what's interesting about the 7 of Cups in this deck, the cups are empty. Underlining energy. And I can't help but feel like this goes back to, have you asked yourself lately, who am I? Why did I come? How am I contributing? Am I showing up in integrity to all that which I know my spirit can uphold? The different cups, these questions. Maybe there's 7 questions, I don't know. But I feel like Spirit's saying there's an underlying energy here of maybe some confusion. But have you filled these cups up with your own affirmations, your own truths, your own aspects of love, if you will? It's the things that we can't see or have yet to become conscious of, or have, maybe we were conscious at one point, but we've lost focus on that. Underlying energy. So the heart of the spread comes with an oracle. And it's the mythic reality. I'll go ahead and read it to you. Here we go. Something is causing you concern at present because you are viewing the situation from only one perspective. Look with an open heart and mind, and you may see that that a positive side also exists. Things may very well turn in your favor if you let go of the preconceived ideas and rigid views. There are at least 2 perspectives from which to view every situation. What you see at present is only part of the picture. Often what seems real to us may not necessarily be what is actually occurring. The true purpose of many of life's events is often unclear because of the false assumptions, fears, and misconceptions. There is no need for concern. Just allow things to naturally unfold and all will become clear to you. Remember, you may not have the power to change the world or many of the events in your life, but you have the power to change the perception of them. And if you care, an affirmation that follows is all becomes clear when I view it from a higher perspective. So there's some challenging frustration or only seeing it from one point of view, but this energy becomes much more concrete as I begin to dive into your tarot cards and the energy that starts to, I want to say, boil from within. We have a crossing energy and it comes with the Fool. Now it's important to, because this is the part of that energy, right? As I'm beginning to shuffle, it's having a hard time breaking through. I don't know if I'm losing patience because I take jumpers and it seems like it's taking a moment. But this energy is starting to really begin to escalate within. But as I meditate on the card of the Fool, the first thing that comes to my mind as a challenging frequency, right, is that some people are sniding at the idea that living consciously should be easy, right? Like, just pay attention. But we're reminded that it's interesting as a bystander, isn't it? But you are no less immune. And we would like to remind you, if living consciously was so easy, the programming of minds would have little effect. You are not immune to this. No different than maybe you are the bigger kid that cuts somebody off, or else you get caught up in your own dynamic that you forget focus of how it may affect other people. Whatever that energy is, but I feel like that's that recklessness, that agitation that you're feeling that's being presented as the Fool. But it's because I think you're more, the challenging is in that harnessing that energy within you. So I ask, what's, from your point of view, what's the problem? What's going on here? It comes with the Hangman, but he comes in reverse. When I read the Hangman reverse, this to me represents a lot of unnecessary energy that goes with no avail. Like it's putting a lot of effort into something that doesn't manifest, whatever it is, right? The Hangman, he hangs himself upside down intentionally to gain a different perspective. From your point of view, I feel like you may feel like you're actually trying to do that. Maybe as I'm reading and giving you the advice from Spirit and getting into this energy, are you feeling like there could be a little bit of frustration, like, get to the point, Crystal, like, I already understand that, I get that, I know, like, that's coming in kind of strong, like, for somebody, different point of view, stay conscious, like, all the things, but are you in alignment to that? How much energy are you putting out there to no avail? And is it possible because you just haven't seen it from a different point of view? And maybe you haven't seen it from that different point of view because of that challenging energy of being enabled to forget that you are not immune to be inhuman, and that you too sometimes can get caught up of being unconscious. So I ask Spirit, from a higher point of view, from your point of view, Spirit, what's going on? And I really had to meditate on this, guys. This was kind of difficult. The first card came out with Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, right? This is about juggling life, but it's also about performance. Not necessarily about the performance, but this is what's coming to my mind, right? When you're juggling, one wrong move, and those pentacles, your balls, all come tumbling down, right? Then I hear Spirit, one more, which to me represents clarify. So I am going to, I take jumpers, right? And all that's coming out is a whole handfuls. I'm like, I can't do that, Spirit. You can't give me half the deck. So finally, the cards that come out, and I take 3 cards, comes with the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, but they're both in reverse. Now, this is fiery energy, and it's energy that you don't necessarily want to come up against. Now, what's interesting, as I was doing the tarot deck, and it's safe to place out there now, again, as I incorporate what's happening on the outside dynamics, right? As I was shuffling and as I was trying to meditate, I've got kids out here in my beautiful apartment complex who are screaming bloody murder. And the way this is affecting me is I'm getting more and more frustrated, more and more angry. I can't focus on these cards, right? And it started with the crossing energy. And I think this is important to put out there, right? I'll put, there's another card that comes out. But let's talk about, let me back to back. The Knight and King of Wands, reverse, shadow side. Hot-headed, manipulating, rather savage in that when they, both of them, when they both want something that is outside of their reach, they try to power to get it. So if it's the King of Wands in reverse, he will manipulate a situation to go in his own favor. We got the Knight of Wands, who really represents to me this power dynamic control, right? Like when he can't control anything, he will go out of his way to try to control a situation to make it go and force it his direction. And that also comes with the Two of Swords in reverse. Now, tell me how this all comes together. I'm trying to meditate. I'm trying to pull the story together. I'm trying to understand what this download and these cards are all meaning from higher. This is like, to me, out of all the cards, these are the cards I really want to understand, right? From Spirit's point of view, I'm trying to pull this together. And I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting a little hot-headed, if you will. So I go out here to my deck to tell these kids to keep it down in a very loving way, right? And I walk out there. And it's just kids playing. I don't know if it feels like it's just, and it feels like it's been going on this like for a half hour, just them screaming bloody murder. But I go out there and the kids are calm and collected. Like there's just outside noises. Sure, they're kind of laughing. Yeah, they're kind of like, but nothing like I've been hearing inside this apartment. Is it possible Spirit is directing us that our inside world needs not to be as loud and chaotic? And for some of us feeling so short-tempered, little patience, these qualities are not serving us. I'm listening. Not serving, but even derailing us from those potential micro shifts that could happen in a moment because we're so distracted. I don't know who this will, they're taking me to a quote. Be careful. When you're emotionally triggered, you're easy to manipulate. Is it possible, from my point of view, about us coming into alignment and finding emotion stability. What's the word they're using? Neutrality. Point of view from Spirit is that we're so caught up, and there's a lot of energies happening. I know I have. I've been hot-tempered and maybe short of patience, hence like the playground scenario. Are you feeling those same energies too? And are those energies keeping us so caught up and putting out a lot of energy where it's not serving us right now? Hangman in reverse, right? When in reality, it all could be right there. Maybe we're just not becoming conscious. Maybe we're not putting our energy where it best suits us, because we go to the Two of Pentacles, the little, even here to the Two of Swords in reverse. Both have bodies of water. Two of Pentacles has got a bit of ripples. But they both seem pretty calm. The body of water, right? Perspective. Twos are choices. I'm being called again. The power of choice. Are we choosing to pause? Are we choosing to reflect? And are we choosing the choice of decision? Right? To respond or to react? From Spirit's point of view, this is all coming in finally. I feel like. Are we using the power of choice to our best influence, to our best will, and becoming clear on where it is that we want our energy to flow? Underlying energy, right? I don't know that we have become very clear. We've got so caught up in a dynamic. And these fire energies, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's a lot of planets moving into Aries, right? And I love Aries. But it's a very fiery, dynamic element. So, from point of view from Spirit, what's the best guidance? Now, this one I wanted clarifier on. I came with the Four of Swords, but it came in reverse. And they told me to meditate on it. Like, I wasn't supposed to get a clarifier. They wanted me to meditate on it. And what it signifies to me from Spirit's guidance, right? So the Four of Swords upright to me is the state of healing, meditation, coming inward and reflecting. Four of Swords in reverse is taking all of that and taking an action. Yeah, we've got Seven of Cups as an underlying energy, which I don't feel like we've become necessarily clear on what it is. Or maybe we have, but we've lost sight. But what points out, what is significant to me in this is the butterflies and the glass window. This is like where the most light is coming, right? This is what's drawing my attention. And through the open glass stained windows comes the butterflies. What does butterflies represent? The transformation. Coming back to, in those micro shifts, right? Nothing changes immediately. Sometimes the cards just are the puzzle pieces that need to be inserted in each part of these downloads. But the micro shift can change everything, right? From that meditative state to action. Day by day, nothing may seem to change, yet in a year's time, everything can be so different. Sometimes it takes only a micro shift in a moment to change the perspective of our current reality. Meaning, whatever's happening right now, guidance from Spirit, becoming crystal clear on where you're headed, what you want to manifest, getting those descriptive details, and becoming conscious as a post-it note in those micro shift moments of every day. So we're no longer sitting in that meditative healing state, right? It's coming out of using the energies to our advantage by becoming conscious in every given moment. So, for them, what they gave me as an example is that post-it note. Maybe you need a post-it note. It's a lot easier than maybe even on I don't know why, somebody might want a post-it note on the back of their phone. So when you pick it up, at least you're seeing that and you can have a moment to choose. Do I really want to doom scroll or do I want to meditate? choice, a choice. Potential outcome with the energies that are underway, and it feels like there must be a heavy influence on this, because when it comes with the potential outcome, it tells me that the scales are weighing in one way or the other. And currently, this unconscious behavior, as conscious as you may think you feel like you are, it has the potential of one Page of Wands in reverse, which is a lack of path, lack of knowing where we're headed, with the Six of Cups in reverse, which is also being stuck in the past. Clarified with Knight of Cups. With this Knight of Cups, before tarot, the woman offers her cup. What I love about the Knight of Cups, right? He may be a knight. He may wear his emotions on his sleeve. But he is one of the knights that is most willing to give his cup away, right? He's ready and willing to give what he can offer, which is his suit, his cup, away. In this dynamic, he hasn't even got the cup yet. Will he ever grab for that cup? We know by today's tarot that he does. But in this role, he hasn't yet. And it's clarified with the Six of Cups in reverse and the Page of Wands in reverse. It's just a strong cautionary. How much are we allowing life to be part of our life? How much do we let life decide how it's going to play out? For instance, today for me, the perfect example is I had an intuitive pull to do a reading. I made the deliberate choice to continue to do life outside of CRYSTALClear, only to have the tugs, the pulls, and things not align great. A lot of extra energy that was wasted. Feels like a lot of extra energy I put out there when I should have and I could have just come here in the morning, sat down here in the morning, did the meditation, especially when the downloads were super clear, laid the thing of cards, and got the message. Everything's divine. But I did spend a lot of time today doing other things when I could have just been getting a message out. How much do you allow life to pull you by the reins versus you living the deliberate life and choices of whatever it is that you consciously came here to create, to be a part of, to consciously choose to juggle, right? There are things that we have to juggle in our life, but let's make sure at least those coins that are of value that we choose. I'm going to finish off with the Oracle card, and then we'll fill out the reading. Let me know if any of this resonates with you in the description box. If you've made it this far, I can relate to the hasty energies. Dearest you, over here there is no mystery for us to unravel, as we know intimately how connected we all are, how the web of creation works, and how spirit is in every aspect of life, from the invisible to the visible. But it's impossible for humans to comprehend the complexity of how things actually work, because the most important threads in the tapestry don't make sense in the dimension you live in. That said, you can feel the importance of these currents of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways. That said, can you feel the importance of these currents of energy that bring events together in miraculous ways? You can't understand with your mind, but you can know with your heart and soul. Trust that even though you don't know the how, the what, or the why, we do. Surrender to the mystery and have faith that the unseen world is watching you with loving eyes as Spirit weaves your life's mysterious and beautiful tapestry in glorious technicolor. Loving you so much, as always. Love your dreams. I have so much love for you guys. And until next time, as always, namaste. I love you.